What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we're checking out the MagnaFlow Overland Series single turn down exhaust system fitting all 2022 and newer Crew Max Toyota Tundras. Now if you want a bit more out of your V6 when it comes to the sound but need to keep your clearance in mind if you're doing any off-roading with your Tundra, this system is going to be a great one to check out. Now as you just heard from the sound clip, this is going to offer a deeper tone out of your V6 with a bit of turbo noise without being obnoxious, so I'm going to put this right in the middle of the loudness meter at a 3 out of 5, with 1 being stock and 5 being Wake the Neighbors with cold start. Now that noise level, in addition to the configuration here, is going to be great for the Tundra owner who wants some more character to the sound of their truck without the uncomfortable drone for those longer drives and simply wants a performance over appearance. Now the biggest attribute about this exhaust system is the high clearance design that will give you that additional ground clearance compared to other systems and even over the factory system, so you're not going to have to worry about pinching the tailpipe shut or damaging the tips if you do come down on an obstacle off-road. Now the rich tone will also bring a lot of personality to the truck, deepening the tone for more of that aggressive feel while sparing you the excessive volume if you only want to hear the exhaust when you get on it, and that's basically it. Now that comfort is thanks to MagnaFlow's NDT resonators, or no drone technology resonators, which will use their quarter wave passive noise cancellation and is going to essentially just deaden that drone that you would otherwise hear, making you much more comfortable inside your truck. Now this will be made of a full stainless steel construction, so you can ensure that this will hold up incredibly well to rust over time. Now the tubing will be mandrel bent, creating a smooth flow of air for the best efficiency and of course sound through the system. This will also come with everything that you need to bolt this straight up to the factory location, thanks to all of the clamps and factory style hangers. Now this will come in at about $1,200, which is pretty on par for an exhaust system like this. Now choosing a system does come down to a couple different factors, but what I will say is that this is going to be right in the middle as far as pricing is considered and is more performance driven with the high clearance design rather than appearance driven. Now this also won't be over the top compared to other shortened turn down systems or louder systems if you want to keep it pretty mild with your Tundra, making this a fantastic option. Now install is going to be a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here and should probably take you only 2 hours to get the job done. Now at this point we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how this goes onto the Tundra step by step, so that is going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
For this install you will need an impact, a ratchet, various size extensions, 14mm swivel socket, 14 and 15mm sockets, 14mm wrench, a hanger removal tool, and also not shown here is a pole jack or a jack and jack stands. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing an exhaust on our Tundra, but before we get started we're going to send you to watch a short video on how to remove your factory exhaust, and we'll see you when you get back.
Alright guys, for the first step of the uninstall, we're going to grab a 14mm socket, a swivel socket, and an extension, and we're going to remove these 2 nuts. Next, we'll grab a hanger removal tool. We're going to remove this hanger out of the isolator. Now we can let this hang. We're going to go up to our middle isolator and we're going to remove that over there. Now I'm going to have one hand holding on to the exhaust and the other to remove this isolator. Once that's popped out of place, we could slide our tube out of the studs. And we're going to snake this out over the axle. And now we can snake our pipe over our axle. Just going to snake it out. Now we can move on to the front part of the pipe. So now I have my 14mm socket, swivel socket, and extension, and we're going to remove these 2 bolts out of the flange. Now we're going to move over to the other side and do that same thing. Next we'll be removing these two hangers. I have my pull jack to hold up the exhaust. So now I have my exhaust hanger removal. We're going to remove these hangers. Now we have one more in the back, and then once that's done, our exhaust will be removed. Now using that same tool, we're going to remove our last hanger. Make sure you hold up the end, the exhaust. Now I'm going to lower down my pull jack. Move it out of the way. Now we can remove.
Now we're going to start with the passenger side Y-pipe adapter from our factory cat. We're going to go ahead and get that in reusing the factory spring bolts. Then we're going to get our pole jack under here to help support that. We'll get our driver's side one on, get them mated up, then we'll go on from there. So now we can go ahead and get our driver's side of our Y-pipe on, go ahead and mate that up with our passenger side. We'll get our clamp onto our slip fit, get the other factory spring bolts on at our flange, and then we'll go ahead and continue on from there. We'll go ahead and get our other one in. Now once you have both of those on, we can go ahead and tighten all of our spring bolts down using our 14 mil swivel socket and extension on our impact. Next up is our muffler, so we're going to go ahead and grab another clamp, slide that over our slip joint, get that onto our Y-pipe collector here, and get the two hangers into the factory isolators. Get that set up, we'll get our pole jack underneath it, and we'll get it snugged down. So now we're going to go ahead and tighten down our Y-pipe coupler as well as our muffler inlet clamp with our 15 mil socket on our impact. So this kit comes with two different size drone tube caps that go on the end of your muffler outlet right here off to the side. Now we're going to put the smaller one on. The install process is the exact same for either of these. So we're just going to grab a clamp. We'll slip this onto this little outlet here and go ahead and tighten that down. Again, we're going to use our 15 mil socket on our impact to go ahead and tighten this. Now it's time for our muffler outlet slash over axle section. So what we're going to do is again, grab our clamp, slide that over our slip joint. We'll get this up over our axle and into the factory isolators here. Then we'll go ahead and snug it down onto our muffler. And sometimes it's even easier to pull that factory isolator off and go ahead and get it onto both your hangers at the same time. So you want to make sure you have both of your hangers in your isolators here, and then we can go ahead and tighten down our clamp for our outlet. So now for our tail section, we'll go ahead and grab one more clamp, slide that onto our slip joint, go ahead and get that onto our over axle and into our factory isolator. Tighten it down and we'll be good to go. Sometimes it is easier to pop these isolators off. All right. And we'll go ahead and tighten this clamp down. So now once you've got everything on, you want to go through and double check all your clearances, make sure that nothing's going to rattle or get too hot and melt or anything like that. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our MagnaFlow Overland Series single exhaust system with a turn down tip for your 22 current Tundra Crew Max. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Tundra, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.